Welcome back to the CoolFigurez channel. I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. The information on the channel is intended for adult collectors and not children. And today we are going to be taking a look at the brand new Mezco Toyz 1/12 Collective Silent Screamers Nosferatu Symphony of Horror. But first, if you're new, then welcome. This channel is all about cool action figures, analyzing them, hunting them, taking pics of them, and of course, playing with them. If that's your sort of thing, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon while you're at it so you stay notified when I do upload new content. And if you do enjoy this video or any other videos that I put out, please remember to give them a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. With all that out of the way, guys, once again, we are going to be taking a look at the brand new Mezco Toyz 1/12 Collective Silent Screamers Nosferatu Symphony of Horror. And guys, I am so excited to talk about this guy. I was not collecting when they first released the original release, so I don't have him in my collection. So I was super happy when they did announce that they were going to be re-releasing this guy in a different variant format, and I definitely went ahead and jumped on him, and I'm super happy that I did, because my dog Knock needed someone to fight up against. He needed someone to go bump in the night to go fight up against, and this guy is definitely him. So I have so many great shots planned with this guy. Just going to try to take my time with them, roll them out slowly so that I can take my time with them, plan them out, kind of set them up a little better than what would happen if I rushed through them, and try to get those pics out of my head and onto Instagram for you guys to see. So yeah, guys, super excited to talk about this guy, super excited to dive into him because he comes with so much great stuff. Now, he doesn't come with too many hands, I'll give him that, but he makes up for it in accessories. So enough talking about what he does come with and what he doesn't. Why don't we go ahead and jump on into showing you what exactly he does come with. He does come with a total of 3, count them, 3 head sculpts. The first one he wears in box. Please excuse my dry, calloused hands. I do not moisturize after the gym. He does also come with an alternate screaming, kind of growling, screeching head sculpt right there. Super cool to see all his teeth just out and open. The paint around the nose and in the ears. Super cool, super awesome. And that is not all, because like I said, he does come with 3 head sculpts. So the third one being this new one that is unique to this Nosferatu with a burnt head sculpt right here, because we all know that, well, vampires, they can't really get vitamin D like the rest of us. So this head sculpt kind of looks like he was walking around the house and he kind of forgot to leave a shade down. So yeah, he learned his lesson, definitely. But the cool thing about this is Mezco always goes above and beyond, and not only did they choose to give you a head sculpt of him being burned, but they also decided to give you an alternate hand that has the same effect right there, which is super cool because it does fit into his right hand, which allows you to position it to the point where it looks like he's trying to block the sun with this hand, and that's why it's getting burned. So that is super cool. Mezco always going above and beyond in that sense. So super happy and super cool. So why don't we go ahead and segue into the alternate hands, since we've already started talking about them. So that is one of the alternate hands that you do get with this figure. You do get a total of 2 pairs of hands that are exactly identical. So you do get these open claw hands right there, as well as these open relaxed hands right here. Those are the only 2 pairs of hands that are identical. The only other hand you do get for your right hand is this hooked finger one that kind of looks like he's pointing at you, kind of going like you. So yeah, that's really cool. And last but not least, for your left hand, you do get one other alternate hand, which is a loose C-grip hand right there, which goes perfect with the next accessory that we're going to talk about. So why don't we go ahead and jump on into accessories. And he does hold the lamp or lantern that he comes with perfectly in this relaxed C-grip hand. So as you can see, he does come with a nice little lamp. I believe the first release did also come with this lamp, as well as a set of keys. However, this guy does not come with the keys, but he does come with the lamp. I think it is a different coloring though, like the shading on the things. I think it's different coloring. I'm not sure. I don't have the first release, like I said, guys. So spare me on that. But next up, why don't we go ahead and talk about some of the animals that this guy comes with. He does come with, as you can see, some hellhounds right here. But why don't we go ahead and talk about the smaller critters that he comes with before we talk about the larger ones. And the smallest being his rats. So you do get a rat that is essentially standing looking up at him, which is really cool. And you do get a total of 2 unique rats and 4 that are identical. The 2 unique ones are both gray, and the identical ones are all black. So you do get this other one that looks like you can put it on his shoulder, and maybe, let's see, why don't we go ahead and pull him forward and try that. Let's see. Put it on his shoulder right there. Look at that. So yeah, that one can fit on his shoulder right there. So I want to go ahead and leave Mr. Nosferatu with his little buddy on his shoulder right there. Get him to stand. And, whoops, he's going to timber forward. Okay, there we go. So you do also get, like I said, 4 identical rats that are all in a stagnant position. Let me see if I can get them all on frame without knocking over Nosferatu right there. Well, I guess you can't see them all too well right here, but you do get 4 identical ones. So let me go ahead and pull one forward so that way we can take a closer look at just one in general. So the detailing on these rats isn't the best, but it is really good for considering how small it is. But I mean, what do you expect for a tiny little rat? I'm pretty content with it. You still see an eye. You know what, I take back what I said. The detailing is actually really, really good on it. You can see an eye, you can see the little nose, the little mouth, all the little fur detailing. So yeah, I take it back. This is really good for a little mouse. So next up, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the second largest animals that he comes with, because he does come with some other animals in the form of some bats. Super cool. You can also use these with your Mezco Batman figures if you want. Throw them in the background, throw them on the floor, do whatever you want. But you do get 3 separate bats in 3 separate flight positions. One that looks like it's going to flap hard with its wings, one that looks like it's soaring, and one that looks like it's like mid-flap. So the cool thing about this is that they do come with peg holes on the back. Now remember that will come into play later on in this review. But until then, let's go ahead and move on to the last animals that he does come with, which are his hellhounds. So the first one right here is a brown color. Now all of these are static slugs. They do not move. They have absolutely no articulation. As much as I would love the jaw and the limbs to articulate, they don't, which is fine with me because the detailing is amazing. You have some scrapes right here on the side of the body with some nice blood paint. The eyes are glow in the dark. He does have a scratch across his face. Big one right here on his back hind leg. But yeah, so this one is colored brown. And his other one that he comes with is a black hellhound right here. And they are in slightly different positions. So the brown one's more of a standing position, while the black one's more of a crouching, prowling, about to attack position. He does have some battle damage here on his hind leg as well. And on here, let me see. So it is different battle damage as well. So it's not the same. So that's really cool. So you can definitely see they did pay a little attention to that and give it some detailing and some uniqueness. This guy's mouth is closed, unlike this one. So yeah, slight differences in the two, but super cool nonetheless, despite them just being static slugs. So the last thing we are going to take a look at in terms of accessories is his hat and overcoat. So the last Nosferatu did come with a hat. However, this one comes with a feathered hat. Super cool. Why don't we go ahead and put him on? And there we go. We have Nosferatu with a hat now and a rat on his shoulder. So yeah, the hat is super cool. But I have to admit, I probably won't be taking too many pics with him and the hat on. But yeah, it is what it is. Last but not least, he does come with this amazing giant overcoat that you can throw on top of him. It's kind of hard to see in this lighting, but they did throw some weathering in on the bottom portion of this coat. I'm trying to see if I can maybe... I don't know how I can catch it, but up here it's like a nice soft material, and as you go down it feels like it's been dirty and muddied, and it's a slightly different color. It's a very slight difference right there. You can kind of see how it's a dark black and then a lighter one. That's not the light, it's literally the coat to show weathering on the bottom, as if it's been dragging and being draped over him. It does have some arm slits right here, so you can poke his arms through when he's wearing it. It does also come with this over collar piece, which just velcros in right here, so that way it can essentially cover most of his head. Essentially, basically his head would just be poking up. You see very little of anything else. But yeah, so all in all, cool thing. It is all wired throughout as well. All these little pieces that you see right here are wired as well, so you can do some pretty cool stuff with him in air and whatnot. But yeah, that is not it, because with him being a Mezco, of course you need a little baggie to put all those great accessories in, and so of course Mezco provides you their 1/12 collective baggie with him. And of course you have to display this guy in style, so they of course give you their Nosferatu 1922 base with it. And this one is really cool, that blood red. is just amazing. I absolutely love it. And of course, as with all Mezco bases, you do also get the Mezco flight stand, which is really cool. Best ones in my opinion. They hold a lot of weight and do a lot of great stuff. And as I mentioned, the bats do have those peg holes on the back of them, and I said that that would come into play some point in this review, and that point is now. So if you've been messing with Mezcos for a while, you know what this is. This is essentially just something that you plug in these little tubular wire things into, hook it around, plug your accessory piece into it, this case being the bat, and voila, you can just connect this to the base right here, and now you have your flying bat. So that's essentially what those peg holes are for. And what this wired stuff is, you do get a set of 3 wires, so you do get enough for all 3 bats. And yeah, that is essentially everything that this guy comes with. So with that being said, why don't I clear some space right here in front of him and pull him forward so we can take a nice close look at him. I'm gonna go ahead and take the hat off as well as the rat, so that way they don't fall off while we're moving them around. So as you can see, this guy looks super menacing and horrific, and that's exactly why I wanted him. Doc Nock needed someone to fight up against, and this guy is perfect. And like I said, I don't have the first release because I wasn't collecting Mezcos at the time. So I'm super happy that they did choose to re-release this guy in a different form. And in my opinion, I kind of do like this one a lot more. I'm not going to lie. As cool as it would be to have the original that was kind of based off the original and everything, I feel like this one is a lot cooler, and he comes with a lot more great accessories. Granted, the other one did come with a coffin, but this one comes with some hellhounds, a mist, and some bats. I think the only thing that the other one came with that this one doesn't come with besides the coffin was those keys, those old school style keys. But the thing that this one comes with that the other one doesn't come with is this burnt head sculpt, which is really fucking cool. So yeah, all in all, I think this is the better version. But either way, guys, let's go ahead and take a nice closer look at him. He does have that nice overcoat that he had in the original one. I don't know if it's the same coloring or if the scarf's the same color. Like I said, I don't have the original, but I do like the weathering and the tearing on the bottom. It's the same material and feel as the big overcoat. Yeah, overall, as always, Mezco always does an outstanding bang-up job on the stitching and tailoring of their figures, so can't complain. And he's not wearing too much, stuff that's like unique. It's just an overcoat and a scarf and some black tights, so not too much to look at. So yeah, but overall, I absolutely love the detailing in this guy. You see the veins in his head, the veins in his hands. I mean, I just love all that little detailing. But that's exactly why Mezco is such a great company, because that's what they do. They pay attention and give us those little details. So yeah, guys, with that being said, let's go ahead and move on into articulation. So let's start off with his head. He can look all the way to the right, all the way to the left. He can look down pretty significantly despite having that long chin, which is really good. In terms of looking up, it's not too bad. It's basically just back at you, but well, that's back at you. That's kind of up a bit, I guess, but not too much in terms of up, I guess. In terms of head wobble, he does have some really good head tilt right there. This is where I do find issues with this figure, is in his arm articulation. So he cannot go all the way to a T-pose. He can only go out that far because of the stitching in the clothing. And although the buck can go 360 with the shoulders, he can only rotate his arm that far up, because then the stitching gets really tight on the clothing and you don't want to push it too far. The other thing I don't like about this figure is that he doesn't have a bicep swivel, which really does hinder a lot of the articulation, considering that he only comes with single hinge elbow joints. It does have rotation at the elbow though, so you do get that, but you only get a single hinge elbow, unfortunately. You do get rotation at the wrist, as well as hinging up and down, in and out, whichever way that ball peg is facing. But yeah, guys, that is really my only real gripes with this figure, is that his arm articulation isn't the best. And so yeah, that's a very small gripe though. I mean, he is Nosferatu. He's not going to be doing any like Batman stuff, in terms of like Batman action poses and whatnot, so I shouldn't expect too much. In terms of ab crunch, he can crunch down ever so slightly downward, backwards. You do get some waist swivel right there, which is really good. Nosferatu can join the cheerleading squad, and he's already wearing the tights. He can kick out that far, he can kick back that far, and thankfully he does come with double hinge knees, so he does kick back that far. And last but not least, let's go ahead and take a look at his ankle articulation, which will go down that far, up that far, and you do get ever so slight ball rocker hinge at the ankle. So all in all, guys, I have to admit this is one of my favorite Mezco figures, despite the arm articulation on this guy being so limited. Other than that, really, there's nothing else for me to complain about. I love the detailing in this figure. I love all the accessories that he comes with. Despite only coming with a few hand accessories, that's really all you need. You don't need any more. It's not like he can make a fist with those claws, so it works out. So I can't wait to continue to shoot this guy. I have so many great ideas, but like I said, I'm going to try to take my time so that way I can really flesh him out and get him right. So with that being said, join me every Sunday for Coffee and Toys, a weekly toy news toy talk podcast where we will go over all the latest and great toy news, reveals, pre-orders, and so much more. And join me every Wednesday on Instagram at CoolFigurez for Coffee and Toys Live, where I will speak to a new guest about toys, toy collecting, toy photography, and so much more. With that being said, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at some really cool, creepy, and horrific pics that I took of this guy. And if you did enjoy this video, please remember to give it a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a great fucking day. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. If you enjoyed those pics, you can find the full images over on Instagram at CoolFigurez. And I do have a separate Instagram account for my more thought out, planned out, more edited pics called Epic Shots by CoolFigurez. Check it out. If you like what you see, leave me a follow there as well. And if you guys want to see the unboxing of any figures I do reviews on for this channel, go ahead and check me out over on TikTok at CoolFigurez. That's where I post all my unboxings. And join me every Sunday morning for Coffee and Toys, a weekly toy news toy talk podcast where we will go over all the latest and great toy news, reveals, pre-orders, and so much more. If you did enjoy this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. But whether or not you're a subscriber, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to me talk about toys. I really appreciate it. As always, I'm your host, Jess the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Thank you so much to this channel sponsor, VRare Store. Check them out for all your Funko Pop, anime, Pokemon card, and toy print needs. And of course, use code CoolFigurez at checkout for 10% off your order. VRare Store, check them out, guys.